Hello and welcome po sa another episode of Afternoon Live. Wednesday, midweek na tayo, March 19, 2025, and bam, it's like now what you see on the background, first of all, let's get it right. You'll be noticing that we are actually on the sky, but if I turn this off, the background actually changed. So you'll notice that it's like a sunset of the afternoon. But let's keep this on because on this episode today, I'll be talking about different kinds of colors. Actually, this morning, we're actually like discussing about the different types of hardwares or if not actually, basically we're talking about the inputs and outputs of different devices and the possible corresponding situations that you really have to consider. So, example po yung computer, sorry, okay, in part of computer, I actually happen to discover different kinds of keyboards. So if you're talking about the main keyboard, which is about the QWERTY or what we call it as forgive me if I pronounce this wrong, the QWERTY keyboard. Okay, the QWERTY keyboard. Bam. So ito yan ang QWERTY keyboard. Tapos yung Dvorak keyboard, which is actually like mas different siya kaysa yung main keyboard that we usually use. Okay, and we also happen to discover yung different kinds of mouses. That is actually on the input side. Tapos, yung output that we have to consider is, of course, yung mga softwares and different kinds of system. And I think I should be able to find out the answer kung bakit in the first place nakaroon po tayo yung technical problems. Just like what is happening right now, huh? Okay. So, ito po yun ha. I'm going to discuss, I'm going to share to you about the different kinds of keyboard, but particularly the two types, which is the QWERTY keyboard and Dvorak style of keyboard, which two of them may be different in fact. But first, I'll be discussing about to you about the basic kinds of colors. So as you can see on the background, you will notice that the background consisted, oh yeah, that is the background usually for the afternoon live show, that it's you'll be noticing that this is light blue and a sky, but it's actually part of the blue family. Yeah, that is seriously, that's actually part of the blue family. So yeah, there you go. But anyway, but if I switch it off and change to a new background, you will notice that it is actually different. So you can actually see the hues. You can see some of the sunset type of background. Plus yung nakaroon ng cityscape. But that's just actually another story. But anyway, let's turn this back on. Okay, there you go. Let's start. So, of course, this is very elementary, huh? This is actually preschool, in fact. So, let's talk about first the primary and the secondary colors, and as well as the tertiary colors. So, of course, the primary colors, this is very basic. So, you will notice that, oh, the t-shirt that, okay, the shirt that I'm actually wearing on the studio right now, that as a standee. So, yeah, which is red. Tapos yung background on the set, that's part of the blue family. And of course, we also have yellow. So, in other words, ang red, blue, and yellow, red, yellow, and blue, yan ang primary colors. Yung tinatawag ngayon ay flagship colors. And these are the colors that you mainly use for like different kinds of things that it's just like I don't know how to explain this. Please help me. Now, pupunta na tayo sa secondary colors, which basically you're going to combine two of the three primary colors. So, halimbawa, yung red and yellow. What is red and yellow? This will give you orange. Tapos, there you go. Ang yellow plus blue, it will give you a green. Samantala, yung red and blue, so which are actually two of my favorite colors, which are my main flagship colors in fact. So, if mag-combine po tayo yung red and blue, this will give you violet. Wow, yan ha. And these are the secondary colors. Yan ang orange, green, at saka yung purple. Sometimes it was called violet. Chenmates, if whatever you're comfortable calling, what kind of color is this? Is it either violet or purple? But please let me know on the comments. Okay, and samantala as well, yung tertiary colors, which I'm going to be talking about. So, ang tertiary colors is, okay, ang tertiary colors, yan ang, basically you're going to combine two of the six colors besides the one that you use to combine yung primary colors na nakaroon tayo yung secondary colors. So, let's say babush to red, red plus yellow, red plus blue, and yellow plus blue. Let's say babush, but other colors, so let's say red and orange, for example, this will give you red or orange. Tapos, orange plus yellow, yan ang yellow-orange, and so on. At saka yung blue-violet, and depending on the colors that you want to give, okay, depending on the colors, the one that you give or to combine, that will give you some results. At bagamat na sinabi ko nitong Lunes, when we're talking about the color, color cultural something, yung basta ito po yung color colors and culture kasi depending on which color that you have here, yan ay i-represent sa mga ibang aspects or representing some of their cultures at kasama yung ang black at saka yung white, okay? So, halimbawa, okay, ito po yung red, ang sabi na ito ay danger or stop or so on. Habang yung yellow ay steady at saka yung green ay steady go. And you may have wanted to notice na bakit sa television mismo, ang primary color sa kanila RGB. I'll try to find out the answer after the break. But yeah, yan ang primary colors sa especially lalo na sa yung introduction of color television noong pang simula na ito. That was a very long time ago. Pero yan ang primary colors. So ito po yung and after the break I'll be talking about a little bit some of the hues, the contrast, as well as kung bakit ganito yung RGB and so on when Afternoon Live gets right back. Babalik po ng Afternoon Live and still on some continuation but here we go. So una-una, yung RGB, kung bakit ang mga television since the introduction of color television, ay ito po nang ginagamit para sa on-screen viewing. Kasi ang RGB mismo is an additive color model which adds red, green, and blue light together to create different colors you can see on the screen. And the color of each pixel on the screen is determined by the amount of red, green, and blue light it emits. So, it's basically kasi yan ang ginagamit para sa on-screen. Kita niyo sa background sa inyong screen yung tinatawag yung RGB. Okay, andyan samantala, meron pang isa that another color combination but it's actually used for printing which is opposed to the on-screen viewing. So yan ang CYMK. Ang CYMK is Yung subtractive color model, which includes cyan, which is yung nakita nyo sa background, yung light blue, something light bluish. Tapos ito po yung magenta, yung kamukhang pink, tapos yellow, at yung unang key na black, which is basically you mainly use para sa printing, which is opposed to the one that you use for color printing. The colors are we actually see in ink cartridges. Then, unlike the RGB model, when combined at full intensity, the colors create black. When ink is printed into white paper, the millions of overlapping dots create different combinations of colors. So, ito po yan ang sinasabi para sa printing. And since RGB colors don't translate the same on paper as on screen, so to print the digital image or project, kaya dapat CYMK yung ginagamit. And para sa color considerations, we'll be talking about hues and some other aspects like contrast in one of the episodes na lang. Pero here we go to understand color psychology kasi it invokes some emotions and it can trigger specific feelings. Tapos, you may need to consider muna your audience. Yeah, you may need to consider the audience and as well as your industry. And bagamat na sinasabi ko kanina, yung cultural connotations, like we have to be aware that colors can have different meanings and associations across different cultures. Yan ang example bago tayo mag-break for a little bit. Then, other considerations that we need to have are the brand and product, accessibility and inclusivity, yung color theory and design. Ito po yung harmony. Okay, there you go. Ang contrast po ay effectively to create visual hierarchy and readability. So, we need to make sure to consider and lalo na pagdating sa color combination, it's very important as well kasi posible we will never know if makaroon po tayo yung tinatawag na color blindness. So we have to avoid relying solely on the color to convey meaning and to ensure sufficient contrast for readability. And as well as to consider avoid na lang tayo as possible yung red and black combinations as well as yung red and green. As well as, I think if we're talking about blue and yellow combinations, I'm really not sure. Kasi kahit kung yellow ang background, kapag ang text ay blue, ay readable pa rin. Pero I'm really not sure if this is still fine. Okay? And what else if we need to consider? Yes. The 60-30-10 rule that we need to use primary colors 60% of the time, then secondary colors 30%, tapos yung accent colors ay 10%. More of this I'll be talking about more of this that I'll be talking about sometime in another episode. And there we have it. This wraps up today's edition, isa pang edition ng Afternoon Live. For more of its content, huwag kayo kalimutan mag-subscribe o i-follow sa aking social media pages. Maraming salamat sa inyong pagsubaybay. Ito po si John Shino. Magandang hapon at magandang araw po sa inyo lahat.